What's up, everyone? I'm Sean Finnegan, joined by Miss Leah Jackson.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
So today we're talking to you about Diablo 3 because the expansion just released, Reaper of Souls. There's a lot of interest around the game.
Yes.
But there's three really cool things that we want to talk about that basically should convince you why you should come back if you're one of those people who either played it and kind of stepped away from the game or just have general interest now.
Yes.
Leah, what are we talking about today? What's the first cool thing?
So the first cool thing is the loot 2.0. It means that more loot for your class is going to drop when you're playing, and there's more legendaries that you're going to be getting. So as you're playing through, you know, it's so amazing when you see that orange drop and it's a legendary and it's an upgrade for your character, and I love that feeling. So now we're going to be able to see that more. Because
previously, back in, I guess, loot 1.0, whatever the original version was,
right,
you saw legendaries every once in a while, but they were pretty infrequent, and sometimes it was really frustrating because you would get drops and they wouldn't be applicable to your class.
Right, that was the most frustrating thing. I play a wizard, and to see like a crossbow for a demon hunter drop, it's like, oh, come on, I want a staff, something, or just anything that I can use. So, so the new loot 2.0 is awesome for that.
Everyone seems to really like it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Second point, there's this brand new sort of mode in
Adventure
Reaper
mode.
of Souls. Yeah, adventure mode.
Right.
Tell us about that. What is that?
So adventure mode means that you can kind of go and you sort of do these bounties, and then eventually you can open up these Nephilim rifts, and you can kind of go to new areas that have random encounters in a random location, and you won't be seeing, you know, the same things that you would normally see when you're actually going through the game. You kind of get to see these crazy encounters that aren't very natural, and I think that's really fun. But you also get a lot of replayability with the adventure mode, because you're not just going through the story over and over and over again like you have done previously. Now there's kind of more things to do, and I like that.
So with a loot-oriented game, it's really nice to be able to just go dungeon crawling and not really have to worry about, oh, I'm coming up on the end of a quest or the end of a chapter.
Right.
And I didn't get the drop I wanted, now we have to start over or
Yeah.
restart a party. And adventure mode kind of addresses that.
Yeah, and I think it just adds a lot more to do to the game, so I like that a lot.
Cool. And the third thing is, I mean, the classes have been obviously revamped, and that kind of changes the way things are played. So people who have stepped away like me, I played the game from 1 to 60, and then I kind of got bored and stepped away for a couple of months, came back, and I found that my class, which I also play at Wizard, plays totally differently. There's a lot more flexibility in the builds, and there's new abilities and new passives that you can unlock.
Right, so on your way up to level 70, you'll unlock a couple new passive slots that you can use, which really sort of changes the dynamic of the game, because you're thinking of new ways to play as your character, just like you were saying. So I think that the new, you know, just the leveling up system and having access to those new abilities is really, really cool.
Anything else that you think is super awesome about this game, and why? What's holding your interest about it?
So I mean, I've only had a very brief amount of time to play, but I love the Mystic and the new transmogrify system, and changing how my character looks, and, you know, putting stuff on her that I got, you know, ages ago that I don't even remember looting, but now I can remember how those things look, and I can make her look, you know, better and cooler and more awesome. I love that.
So transmogrification, just to clarify, it's a brand new, I guess, ability given to you by one of the sort of NPCs, right?
Yes.
And it allows you to take stats from an item that you've looted and apply it to the aesthetic of a previous item that you've had, correct?
Right, so you can basically make one item look like another item on your character.
Without having to sacrifice the stats.
Right.
Which is awesome, because
Yeah.
sometimes you can get really good gear, but it looks terrible, and then you are not inclined to use it.
Right, exactly. So now my character looks awesome.
Well, that sounds great. Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls is out right now. A bunch of us here at the office have been playing a ton, but if you're really interested in it, make sure you stay tuned to IGN for all of your content around Reaper of Souls.